building internal autonomy. We're going to talk about inputs and outputs. Inputs are our actions. Outputs are our results. Okay. Now, our reality is our output. Okay. This is the cycle. We do something, we get a result. This is usually happening in our reality, right? 1 + 1 = 2. And then we follow the cycle and we get feedback, whether it's internal feedback, emotional feedback, or external feedback. I did an action that led to a result. Maybe I told them how I felt, which brought it into reality. And then I received feedback. Hey, I feel the same way, or I don't feel the same way. Okay, that's an emotional internal autonomy. Then we create thoughts around that. This is the cycle. Okay, the journey of becoming and how we become a new version of ourselves. Now, the first thing is we have to break free from the limitations, beliefs, emotions, and paradigms that are keeping you stuck. Instead of changing, we get to see this as more of becoming who we truly are. Now, we get to leave the old behind and we start to embrace the new order, to see the emotional and business growth and income both in our internal and external world. Now, many people believe that in order to become the person they want to become, they need to start on the outside first. I need to have this car before people will view me as this. Is that the truth? No. Does it help? Yeah, for the wrong people. Stepping into this new self, you're going to face conflict. Now, this, as the divided self, the current self is questioning things.
Right.
Oh, our beliefs and our paradigm didn't used to do this. Now, the divided self is the tension between the two personas within us. One of our authentic private identity and the other, the false, sane self that we present to the world. Now, the journey to limitless self is through the path. Something can do something, you must first be. Now, he's got some amazing quotes. Another one from him is, show me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Sometimes you outgrow people during the phase of life that you're in. As you are on this journey, I can tell you from personal experience, sometimes some of the healthiest boundaries you get to set that are going to push you to grow. I'm going to share with you how to close the identity gap. Before you can do something, you must first be something. That's what many people believe. Now, our identity is the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. The identity gap is the journey from your current self to your desired self. This is when we have satisfaction. Very seldom are we actually in the now. Like, how commonly are we thinking, like, oh man, I'm thinking about the future, all the things I'm doing, which creates anxiety, or we think about the past, which is our current self, okay?
Right.
Because we're stuck in the past. That creates sadness. It creates a more negative emotion because we are polarizing where we are at between where we desire to be. Okay, this is the gap. This is actually where satisfaction is. Now, no matter what you're trying to achieve in life, you will always have to cross the gap. The problem is that we base our future direction and probability of success on the past because that's what we know and believe to be true. Becoming the new version of ourselves is going to require breaking free of the limitations, beliefs, emotions, and paradigms that keep you stuck. Bringing it back to here. We're always going to get stuck in what I call comparanoia. It's where comparison meets paranoia. Now, that's when we're basing where we're planning on going based off what we know to be true. And what we know to be true is based off the past. If I use my reptilian brain, 1 + 1 = 2, that says no. Now, my future self, the unknown, to make this process as seamless as possible, you're aiming to live in the gap because you have a choice at every second who you want to be in this present moment. We get stuck here. That's when we get stuck in indecision and start questioning what we actually want to do. The future, the unknown, I don't know shit that's going to happen in my future. I have ideas of what I think is going to happen based off decisions that should lead to this, but that's just not how life works. There's certain people that have it in them. They have it. They'll get to the place that they want to be because they have it. There's certain people that don't. I've never met an all-star that became an all-star later on. My fundamental belief that I know to be true, I've never met an all-star that became an all-star later on. I knew they were an all-star from the beginning because they had it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
my familiar truth, I know I got it.
Yeah.
I may not know what the future looks like, but I know that I have a track record of not only success in business, but track record of I'll do what needs to be done to get where I want to be, regardless. Now, that brings me into like another training for next week, which is ruthless leadership, because ruthless leadership is what we step into as we're in the gap. Now, I've got polarizing questions that I'm going to give you with, in order for us to get here, this is what we desire. We're going to have to live right now. This is where we're at, because we're still, when it comes to building internal autonomy, it all starts with our emotions. What it comes down to is our emotions dictate our actions. How many times do we feel a certain way and we use that feeling to either choose to do something or not? We focus on the problem, which sometimes means that we might feel a lack of gratitude. We might be scared, fearful, and then we start to feel this in our body. What happens in our body is sometimes we get tense, we slouch, we get nervous, we get anxious, all of those heavier, sometimes perceivably more negative things. And after that, we try to find meaning too. I need to get the meaning behind the problem, which creates more unnecessary stress behind the problem. And then it just creates more emotions. And then we focus on the problem. And then we feel it in our body. We see our emotions as like, okay, I'm feeling this thing. And if we don't want to feel it, how do I get away from feeling this? Or if we want to feel more of it, what do I need to do to get more of it? However, emotion is not a strategy. The meaning you associate to what you're focusing on is what really is the kicker here. Now, we want to focus on the meaning more than the emotions and more than our physiology. Because if we remove the meaning from the problem, we get to detachment. When we're to the place of detachment, it doesn't mean, oh, I just don't give a fuck. But it means we're detached from the outcome of what we're hoping for. A part of this is sometimes we try to rationalize, like, why am I still in the grieving process? Feeling this thing, okay, I'm anxious, or I'm feeling this thing. Why am I still feeling this? That's where the real work starts. We get to accept that, hey, I'm feeling this thing. It doesn't define me. However, I'm feeling this. What do I need? What does that part in your body need to detach from this meaning?
I hate the small talk. Please quit telling me about you.